Alex,
point.
what was your thoughts on the game? Is it Hurts time? Is it
Um,
time for Jalen Hurts? Put him
Kyle
in.
said my defense is underrated. My defensive line.
Is
We're
underrated.
second in sacks. They're rated very accurately for how
I
good
just
they are.
I just think people don't realize that though.
I
Yeah.
think they do. And I think the reason it's not talked about is because how horrible we are.
Okay.
Your defense is historically horrible, and I think it
Yep.
shows how historically worse our offense is. No offense, your defense didn't do anything interesting to me. Our offense was literally that bad. I don't know if they fired Doug. If he does, I'm okay with it now. If he doesn't, I'm okay with it. Same with Howie. Wentz will not be going anywhere. He's got a massive contract. The only option is to trade him. I just don't get it. He put in Jalen Hurts for 1 5-yard pass, penalty, then a 5-yard pass, and then put Wentz in to get sacked. And you're not going to win. This was week 11, and we've had a different offensive line every week except for once. We've had a massive load of injuries. Carson Wentz has regressed for some reason this year. Part of that's on the play. Part of it isn't. A lot of it is on Howie. I'm more down to move on from Howie, and I am now starting to jump on the bandwagon that he was a one-hit wonder. Doug, I disagree with. I think Doug has shown with his play calling for the last 4 years that he is good. But Howie Roseman has constantly kept older players who aren't good, stuck to the same guys who just get hurt, given out big contracts. I'm fine with the Wentz deal, but the Alshon Jeffrey deal was dumb. There's a lot of dumb ones. And he's just constantly missed on the draft. We've had one Pro Bowler since 2013. He took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who is terrible, who I defended all last year, who just doesn't play, goes out and gets COVID, and then doesn't play more, over DK Metcalf. He constantly doesn't go after defense. I still am okay with the Rager pick. He's 21 years old. I get everyone is mad because Justin Jefferson's balling out. We took Rager the one pick before, but I don't think Justin Jefferson will be balling out in our offense. He keeps starting he started Alshon Jeffrey almost over Travis Fungal this week, which makes no logical sense. He doesn't pull the trigger on guys. He said, hey, instead I'm going to make you deal with Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Wallace, Greg Ward, all these guys I don't care about anymore. Deshaun, I was excited to be there, but I didn't think he would be the most important piece of our offense, which apparently Howie thought. Instead of going out and getting Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins, he didn't pull the trigger because it was too much capital for him, and he thought Greg Ward would be better. And I'm just over it all. In terms of the game, I was hoping we would play okay, and we didn't. It was incredibly inconsistent play calling. Our D-line got to the quarterback a lot because I do think we are that good, and your line is pretty bad. Russ gets cooking. I do not blame Darius Slay. DK Metcalf has like 5 inches on him, and he went man-to-man the whole game. I blame Jim Schwartz, and I blame Jim. That's who I blame. I'm over him. A lot of people think we're going to fire Doug and put in Jim Schwartz as interim head coach. I don't really care at this point. In the press conference, Doug said he hasn't gotten reassurance that his job is secure, but he hasn't been told he's going to be fired either. I mean, he hasn't been told he's on the hot seat from what it sounds like. There's a rumor going around that our owner, Jeffrey Lurie, is saying that if Wentz played bad in this game, he was going to force Hurts to start. Jalen Hurts would be bad too. I don't get the moves, and I think this team reminds me of, honestly, what I felt when Andy got fired, that the pieces are here. I get firing Andy. He's run his course. A change is what could work, and it did work because Chip Kelly came in and won 10 games and took you to the playoffs, and then he blew up the roster and made a bunch of bad decisions as a GM. I think that might be the best course, whether it's in the front office or at the coach or both. I think our team is actually pretty good. You can cut a couple guys, bring in a new staff to keep guys healthy. You need a real offensive coordinator. I give Frank Reich a lot of credit. I still don't – everybody's praising him now as that he was this most elite guy and he did everything in 2017. I still disagree to that. He didn't call the plays. I just don't get what's going on with the team. They're horrible. I don't want to get in the playoffs. If we do, I'll still be happy because we're in the playoffs. But right now we have the 6th pick in the draft. Give me a 6th-pick player. Give me a top guy. Go get the next big lineman we could deserve that will stay healthy and play at left tackle or left guard or center if Kelsey retires. Or give us a stud defensive player. That would be awesome. Or a top cornerback. I don't care anymore. The season's over. The Packers are going to smoke us next week. We're that bad on offense, and it's a bummer we can't compliment each other ever. I'm just ranting forever here, but I don't care. We could have beaten you. We could have beaten you, and we didn't because Doug was horrible at play calling. If he gives up the play calling, I don't care. I just don't understand. I don't know who he would give it to. Maybe Marty Morningweg is probably who I'd prefer over Deuce, even though I like Deuce a lot, but he's never called plays. But maybe that's what we need at the same time. I don't know. I don't care. Get me to NBA.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Well, my quick thoughts on the Eagles game, because I've only watched a couple of your games this year. But, yeah, Jalen Mills played phenomenal.
So does Alex Singletary. Can we give a shout out to our boy from Bozeman?
Montana guy, right?
College.
Oh, Bozeman.
What number is he? 47? Was that
49?
him? 49. He
49.
played good.
He's out there.
He did have a good game.
He's been balling all year. That's
one
highlight.
That's a gem right there.
Honestly, I disagree with you a little bit, but you've seen way more games. I think you should put Hurts in, even though the contract is really bad for Wentz and you're kind of stuck with him. But even if Hurts doesn't make any more spectacular plays than Wentz does, there is no way he's going to make as many mistakes as Wentz did in that game, like uncalled for mistakes, which is probably
that game. Should have watched all the other ones.
I know, but
it's clean for Wentz.
But that game, if you have a game manager in it who isn't that good, you probably have a play to win the game there at the end, even more than a Richard Rodgers Hail Mary. Shout out to the legend Richard Rodgers. I want to see Wentz because Hurts, because he was in one play and putting someone at that fast back there, I don't know. I just think you guys need a change of pace. Wentz's pocket presence seems worse.
Look very fast.
But I just think he might add something to it. I don't know. It makes me sad because I really like Wentz, and I know you really like Wentz.
I don't care if they put Hurts in, but Hurts will look bad. If Hurts somehow shows up and dominates, I'm all for it. I'm on the bandwagon.
I don't think Hurts is going to dominate, but I don't think he's going to play this bad. I think it's worth the risk but it's probably too late anyways to go get a pick. But
the massive problem is not on. Wentz is a big part of the problem, but he is not the only part. And I just don't know if putting Hurts in, if like the little confidence Wentz has too, I'm just nervous that'll crush it. And then we are stuck with this Wentz for 2 years. So we can't cut him. It's like a $50 million cap hit if we cut him. And that's
a backup. Roll with Hurts.
If they put Hurts in and he balls, I'm fine with it. That was the narrative all week. We're going to see a lot of Hurts came in for 2 plays on they're just uncreative with him. At least if you're going to put him in, be creative you're going to make him Taysom Hill. They don't even do that. He runs the same draw play, option play every time he's in. And I call what happens when I'm watching the games every single play. I go, we're not going to do this. We're going to do this is going to happen. They're going to hit. Hurts is going to keep it himself or give it off, and then it's going to be blown up because the defense sees it. And every time it happens. I'm just over this season. I don't really care what happens at this point. If they somehow ball out and win the Super Bowl, I'll be happy, but they're not going to do that. So have
No, I
fun
don't think they are.
slaughtering us, Nick.